Good morning. So just sitting down here, want to do my morning prep first and foremost. Get myself prepared for the day today. Sun's out. 6:46 a.m. where I am. Sun is glistening off the lake this morning, so it's pretty beautiful today. As I'm looking at this, I'm looking at my day time frame profiles. Obviously, the last 2 days we had some good liquidation towards our more natural balance range, towards the high of it. Any attempt to break out of a natural balance range like this 4180s area to 4060 area, is always very high odds. So we had the liquidation of what I would consider to be, very weak longs that were sitting up here in a very tight range where the market was able to find continuous value. Got that liquidation. Now we're kind of trying to get back into that value area range. And that's kind of what my focus will be on today. Now, my personal standpoint is I think the market still has potential to go lower. I think it does have an opportunity to get into 4140 area where I think a stronger bid would enter the market, where I would want to enter the market in more size on the buy side. But that's more longer time frame. As far as daytime frame trading goes, I'll continue to monitor, my 03 to 06 level. It continues to play well. It continues to be an area of kind of a swing reference. As you can see here, let me just make the screen bigger. As you can see here, you did a lot of business below this 06 level with a lack of continuation above. Likewise, yesterday, we looked below it, but most of our business was done above. You can see how there's a bit of a clearing in the middle section there, right? Even on the FOMC day, that's where L period found its bid after, the liquidation in J, the pause period in K. L period jammed it back up. It comes from that 03 to 06 range. And then the Globex session, sold from that level early and then came back in, found resistance until late in the Globex session where it finally broke through. And then yesterday, of course, our B, D, and E periods all closed or had their lows within that level. Then we liquidated, looked below in F and G, got back up, and H again found its bid within that range to finish us above that level to close the day. Now, strongest bid support right now is this 4183 to 4187 range. We obviously found support there in the Globex session right in it. Yesterday, we found support there again. Now, the more these levels get tested and they work as well as they have here, the weaker and weaker they're going to become. Just puts me on my toes a little bit as far as if I want to, go with that buy again. If they do come into that level, I think we have very guaranteed risk as far as one time framing goes. A lack of continuation on the downside would stop one time framing, meaning that the market would potentially look at yesterday's low and fail to get it, or potentially look to get to the previous Globex's low and fail to get it, which could, of course, send us into a trend day up, or just put us into a balance range. Either or is potential. But one of the other pieces of information I'm looking at today is the fact that the market has showed exceptional weakness on its highs. You're starting to see a lot of poor highs. Poor highs are just a very visual reference where the selling is able to stop the buying. It's very mechanical in nature, and we do look for it in the future to be repaired. But as it stands right now, from the 15th, we had J, K, and M. Their highs are very poor. You had several poor highs in that Globex session. And then you came into the FOMC day, you had B, D, and E as poor highs. And then G, H, poor high, L, M, poor high. And then yesterday, of course, the AC, poor high, EI, poor high. And then M, of course, cleaned some of that up late in the day. But it's not so much looking for the reference to be cleaned up. It's more what the market is trying to tell us. And the market is simply trying to tell me at this point, that buyers are really lacking enthusiasm to push us above this 06, 03 level, and especially above and back above that 27 level, which played so well over the last 2 weeks. So that's what I'm watching for again today. We got a lot of poor references in this Globex session. If you watched the webinar from yesterday, I mentioned, something I would be looking for is if we continue to build these poor references here, I would look for potential to open and potentially liquidate in the first hour. That liquidation should sweep this 03, 06 level. And by sweep, I mean it should be aggressive push through, and then potentially fill in our body of our profile between 83 to 87 and below 03 to 06. So have something like a B-shaped profile or some sort of liquidation event into balance. Now, most important thing today is quad witch. So we have AM expiries and then PM expiries. The quad witch is the largest option expiry ring. So there's going to be a lot of different looks today on the tape, especially. The tape can be a little bit confusing today. So if you are somebody who uses the tape, the DOM, time and sales, whatever may be your niche as far as what you see and how you see it, be very wary of the fact that there will be a lot of larger orders hitting and printing today in reference to hedges that are being put on. And likewise, we'll talk about that Monday morning on how that will affect Monday as well. As I'm looking at my daily here, we're hovering our 21-day moving average. I am a strong proponent of not getting too excited on the short side below the 21-day moving average. I would like to see us push down, like I said, towards 4140 area. That would take us into and just below our 50-day moving average, which is, pretty consistently worked as support. And the market has really lacked a seller below it to give us an opportunity to maybe get into some larger swing option trades. So that's where I'm at right now. One thing I want to monitor is NQ. I think if NQ can continue higher, especially as it's pushing into the most supreme trend line that goes back, for a year plus, as far as being a swing trend line, that's something I want to pay attention to. If they can find a bit above that and run this towards, that upper side, I definitely want to be paying attention to that. NQ obviously could, of course, pull up the ES and push the ES higher. Most important thing for me is watching the sectors, right? Watching the sector maps, seeing how the sectors go. If you get tech that's pushing real hard, tech over 2% green, etc., you don't really want to be on the short side of the market much. It's really detrimental, especially in indexes. And you just want to be able to monitor and observe kind of what's taking place within that market. So that's my prep for today. That's what I'm looking for today. I want to look to potentially fade any early move towards yesterday's high, towards Globex's high, for a lack of continuation and see if we can get that liquidation. And likewise, I really want to monitor somewhere in the 83, 87 range to see if the buyer is going to come in. But being quad witch, I'm very, very comfortable with pumping the brakes, not getting too involved today. You don't have to trade every day. It's not something that's required of a trader. Just because we're sitting here doesn't mean we have to push buttons. There's plenty of days to make money. You don't have to make money every single day. You definitely don't want to lose money more often than not. So if today is a day where potentially you have the opportunity to lose money, I would highly suggest just watching. With that being said, thanks for jumping on. I'll check you guys again and have a great trading day.